promised you the secret deal with Iran, so let's tell you what that is. As we gave you a little preview, we broke this story, obviously, yesterday. We gave you a little preview yesterday of what the deal might be, and then after we got off air, the deal did come to fruition. And New York Times is reporting that an Iranian ambassador, diplomat, had been kidnapped in Iraq some weeks back, about a month ago or so, and that the people that were captured in that kidnapping were working with the Iraqi security services who were working with the CIA. So it appears that the Americans had ordered the kidnapping of this Iranian diplomat, by the way. Diplomat, right? And
who might have been a spy. I mean, there's...
Sometimes diplomats are.
Yeah.
Okay? But, if you got charges on him, charge him. Just don't kidnap him off the street. That seems like the wrong way to go.
I agree, except, I don't even... If he was a spy, I understand why you'd kidnap him off the street if there was some reason to. But there's going to be repercussions. I mean, that part of the reason for talking to Iran, talking to Syria, having dialogue with these countries, is so maybe nonsense like this doesn't happen. But anyway.
So, they had released him, and we said on the show yesterday, hey, they released this guy, maybe it's a prelude to a deal, and bang, we got a deal.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's a pretty good call on our part, actually, to be quite honest. So, now, what I think might happen is that was kind of the down payment. Now that Iran does its part and pretends to free the hostages or the sailors, the captives, for nothing, he says, Ahmadinejad says, I pardon you, and they get pardoned. And then the back end of the payment is...
Those are your bill guys.
The Erbil 5, exactly.
The Erbil 5.
I just came up with that. How do you like that? That's kind of bad, right? Yeah. The Erbil 5.
Free the Erbil 5! Man, how much would Bill O'Reilly love to hear that?
All right. So, the guy who's going to do it is probably Bush. Now, my guess is about 2 to 4 weeks from now, those 5 guys, Iranians that we took, whatever you want to call it, hostage, captive, et cetera, snatched, kidnapped in Erbil, that we'll release them
back to Iran.
And all this will be done undercover, and we'll be like, what deal? What do you mean? Quid pro quo? What? Never heard of it.
Deal. We investigated these guys. It turns out they were up to some stuff we don't like, but we checked them out, and we've released them back to Iran. They can't come back into Iraq.
And a lot of the Bush administration people, including Dick Cheney, are like, quid pro quo, never. Of course not. That sends the wrong message. And they asked Cheney, do you know about this? He said, no, I haven't heard about it. Yeah. He didn't say, it's not true. He said, I haven't heard about it. Wait. Dick Cheney, really, you don't know what the deal was? Dick Cheney doesn't know what the deal was. Please. And was there a quid pro quo? They asked one of the guys who arranged an Iran hostage deal under Ronald Reagan, right? And he said, of course there was a quid pro quo. There's a quid pro quo in every time there's hostages taken.
Of course, that's exactly what happens. Now, what's interesting is that how would the British factor into that? I mean, the British didn't seize the Erbil 5, and the British didn't seize this Iranian diplomat.
Well, it's the Westerners. So the British put pressure on the U.S. They're like, hey, look, Iran is telling us through back channels that they want their guys back.
Okay, no, but there's something, if that's true, and you're suggesting that it is, and I think there's an excellent possibility it is, it suggests that Great Britain is capable of putting pressure on us.
Sure. Yeah, I believe that.
And was there a quid pro
quo?
Was there a quid pro quo for that? Will now the British stay in Iraq longer? Who knows?
I don't know.
Hard to believe Tony Blair could just call up George Bush and say, do it.